there's now a new class of people in the UK, and these people are examples here: Rory Stewart, Alistair Campbell, George Cameron, what's he called? Former George Osborne, even David Cameron. These people who've led very privileged lives, who now find themselves in a position where they feel free to pontificate on matters as a voice of authority and tell us how we should live our lives, basically. And Rory Stewart, I think he does this, the rest is politics. I don't know if it's that, he's called something else, but he's in various things where he goes and pontificates on various subjects. This is a man who's had a very privileged life, very privileged upbringing, been an MP, and now...
Also did a decade in the army.
Also did a decade in the army.
So he's got some experience there that most people haven't.
Yeah. But now his job is full-time pontificating on things and telling us how we should think and behave. And there's loads of them around now. There's more than ever before. And I have a natural aversion to people who tell me what to do anyway. But there's all these bunch of middle-class arses who are doing all this now. And I think I can't remember now, but I think Julie Birch was talking about something recently where he said, oh, failure is a good thing and it's good we have failures or something like that. And then Simon Sharma, who's another of the grown-ups, came in and said, actually, that's not right. The most successful people in life are winners, not losers.
You don't celebrate failure.
Yeah.
You may have failure and you need to learn lessons from it. But the object isn't to fail so you can learn a lesson. Why don't you be successful, learn a lesson from being successful, not learn a lesson from failure? Yeah, it's the wrong way.
Yeah, and I think I need to find the article and I'll send it to you. But I think Rory Stewart was saying history is also made of losers or something like that. But it's not. It's made of winners. The people, the most successful. The way our civilization has moved forward is with winners, not with losers, basically.
I think the point he was probably trying to make was everyone who's successful has failed. And you learn from your failures, you get better and you move on and eventually you become a winner.
I don't think he was making that point, but I'll find the article. Sorry, I meant to send it to you. But I think my biggest irritation is these grown-ups who pontificate and tell us how we should behave. And there's loads of them around now. You can't chuck a stick in the
street. Technology has made it easier for all. They've all got their own podcasts.
Yeah. You can't chuck a street without these characters who haven't, in my opinion, really earned the right to tell me what to do, telling me what to do, basically.
They've all got experience. They've got more experience than me and you in many ways, especially politics, because they've all been politicians. What I think of when I listen to these people is I go, Jesus Christ, you as a Tory, you sound like a Lib Dem. These are the people who destroyed the Tory party. Yeah. Because none of them are conservatives.
Yes.
They're all Lib Dems.
Yeah.
Or right-wing Labour.
Oh, Labour, yeah. They're almost in Labour.
Yeah. And it's like, that's why the Tory party's been decimated.
Well, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Alistair Campbell and Rory Stewart are on this book. Their views are they basically echo each other's views in the programme. They don't argue with each other about anything.
Not like me and you.
No, because they just have the same views, which kind of just proves the point. You're right, the Tory party went the wrong way. Alistair Campbell was interviewing Stephen Kinnock's wife, who was the Danish Prime Minister, I think.
I've heard something. I don't know. Yeah.
So he was interviewing, again, another fawning interview, but they were talking about Stephen Kinnock's trans daughter, who I think is a girl who is pretending to be a boy, basically. And hearing that, you just start to think, most of the people in the street, you and me, don't give a damn about the trans thing or aren't interested, and it doesn't even touch our lives barely. Occasionally we'll see a bloke dressed up as a woman or whatever, but that's kind of it. But it's almost an integral part of these people's lives, isn't it? So Alistair Campbell speaking to Stephen Kinnock's wife about her trans daughter and the challenges that she has to face in that. Where is the reality for you and I and the people on the street in this situation?
The reality there is when you have famous parents, you don't get as much attention as you should do as a child, and you feel you're in competition with your parents for attention with the outside world. 50 years ago, you'd have took drugs. Many Hollywood actors' children all OD'd.
Yeah.
Because of taking drugs. drugs are not that fashionable anymore now. So now it's trans. It used to be gay, now it's trans, because it's the only way they gain attention from the parents. They feel at some level they're outdoing the parents, and it makes them feel worthy to their parents. So it's, to a certain extent, anyone who's got a trans child has failed as a parent, because you didn't stop your child developing severe mental health issues. We talked about David Tennant, Doctor Who, the other day. That's why he's a big LGBTQI supporter, because he failed as a parent, because his child is non-binary, whatever, and she's done the same. You know, her child is mentally ill, and as a parent, there's not many things on your list of being a good parent. Make sure you don't starve to death. Make sure they don't die. Make sure your girl doesn't become a stripper. Make sure your son doesn't become a violent rapist. And now the new box, make sure your child's not mentally ill. And some parents are failing.
Mm. And there's some positive news.
I met Stephen Kinnock once. My charity won an award for stopping, it was called No Offence was the award, and it was all about the criminal justice system, and I was running a project in Manchester reducing crime, and we went to an award ceremony and my project won. I went on stage and he handed me I've got a picture somewhere.
In what capacity was he presenting that
He
award?
was the ambassador for the charity. Or patron of the charity, something like that.
I used to, before I woke up, I used to quite like Stephen Kinnock.
My understanding is that he lives in Switzerland. His wife is very successful, and
She was the Danish Prime Minister.
Yeah, and he flies into London for Parliament, but he lives in Switzerland. That's my understanding.
Yeah, and that kind of really proves the point, doesn't it? Mm. How, because he's a Welsh MP, isn't he?
Welsh MP, yeah.
That kind of proves the point, does it? How can these people possibly understand how the majority of people in this country live and the issues they have to face when you live a life like that?
Yeah, and his parents spent many decades in the European Parliament, both his mum and his dad.
Yeah. Hence
why he's so strong for Europe. Yeah, these people have got no idea. He's one of those career politicians.
Yeah.
If anything, worse, because he's inherited it. From his dad.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of nepotism going on there as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So if he was just a normal bloke on the street, never would be an MP.
No, you're right. And they just have they just are not they live in their own bubbles. They have and they're validated by people like Campbell interviewing them to talk about their tranny daughter. You know,
you're so brave.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you've done with your daughter.
Yeah.
You've accepted her. It should be. Have you worked out yet what you did wrong to make your child so ill?
Yeah.
Have you worked that out yet? That should have been the question. Did you enjoy that video? I think you did. Come on now, hit that bell, subscribe, comment. Let's build this channel. I need more followers. I need more subscribers. Be part of the journey. See you soon.